Hello.
Welcome to Porch Talk.
We are a different thread,
And Anna Mare.
and this is Deepwater Fish.
Shine, it's just a trick of the light. I'm no more than a spark sent to into the dark. I'm not like Polaris, steadfast in her brightness. I guess I'm more like lightning, I'll strike them gone. I can light up the sky, I'm just not always so bright. You can't rely on me guiding you home. I'm afraid when I shine, it's just a trick of the light. I'm no more than a spark sent to lure you into the dark. I know that it's not true. I know I'm shining with you. Sometimes I still feel like a deep water fish. Phosphorescence is our biggest defense against all this darkness down here in the Mariana Trench. I'm afraid when I shine, it's just a trick of the light. I'm no more than a spark sent to lure you into the dark. But you tell me, you know the dark, there are times when you lost your spark and you don't have to shine all of the time. It's exhausting, you're not alone. Sometimes lightning's all you need to guide you home. I will guide you I'll guide you
Oh,
All right, here we are on the porch.
on the porch. Where do we go from it? Anna, do you
Do
want
you want me to do it now? I wasn't sure if you wanted me to end it or yeah? Okay, let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's go ahead and let's get the music.
Let's get the music going. Okay. This song is called Carlton Motor Lodge Room 129. But the spigot keeps on dripping, and each drop is a typhoon. And the madness quickly deepens as his body drinks the heat. Try to sink below the surface, hide my head below my feet. When all you hear is heartbeats, love is thunder, hate will crash. And you sense how the silence makes a tender tear and slash. Break the space, breathe the breath, stretching moments more each time. Small choices make our stories, slight changes shift our spines. When the night comes, darling, do not weep. Away your pain, give it all to me. The dark is love and it can free. The dark is love and it can free. I see you in the shadows, stewing softly in the air. Will you stay with me till morning? Are we too far gone to care? Blood is death and blood is life, which waits now at your door. If it knocks, will you answer? But who are you answering for? When the night comes, darling, do not weep. Away your pain, give it all to me. The dark is love and it can free. The dark is love and it can free. When the night comes, darling, do not weep. Away your pain, give it all to me. The dark is love and it can free. The dark is love and it can free. The dark is love and it can free.
Wonderful. Welcome you to Porch Talk. This is your host, Alan. I am off camera. It does not matter. I have Robert, Elisa,
Sha, but that's okay. Alicia.
and Lamar.
Eh,
Been a while.
La Mare.
Mare.
La Mare.
How many things can I say? Your voice has gotten better.
Thanks.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
You got a howl and a vibrato. More about you. Since last I heard you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
I really like that. I was under the impression we were coming out of Texas. I'd never known Savannah. North Carolina.
That's where we're
That's
based.
what we call home.
So, tell me a little bit, Robert, Alicia. Where are we from? How did y'all meet? And the name, sake.
Robert and I met busking in Galway, Ireland in 2016. It was the day after St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah.
and we ended up singing together on the street before we knew each other's names or
Yeah.
anything else about each other.
And we got this kind of click with our harmonies as if we'd sung before. And the whole
Felt- it
street
felt
stopped
really
and
good.
stared. So we thought, okay, we could make some money here, and we did. We made some money, didn't we?
We did.
But we
Good
kept
money
doing
busking
it,
in Galway.
and
We've
yeah,
come
very.
a long way from then. We've been traveling. At first, we were traveling to stay together because we're from different countries, and so you can't just be in the same country indefinitely. And then, as of a year and a half ago, we got Robert's green card.
And
so
now
now
we
we're
live
able
in
to be stateside and be
Beautiful.
yeah,
based
Chapel
over
Hill.
here.
Well, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. But before that, how did you both end up in Ireland, huh?
Well, I was there, kind of trying my hand at being a solo performer. So I'd booked a couple of gigs, but I was mostly busking. It was right when I just started playing out.
Why Ireland, Robert?
Well, there's something about the Irish music that's always called to me, and I'd never been, and I felt like it's right there, and I've never been. I should go, you know. And so,
Fair enough.
first time I ever went was when we met, and we went back a few times. And
Yeah.
Alicia was
Alicia?
there.
Well, I was living down in Guatemala as a solo performer there with my ukulele. And then a buddy of mine from Massachusetts called me up, and he and I had always kind of joked that we were going to go to Ireland together. And so he was like, me and a buddy are going to Ireland for 10 days. You should come with us. And I was like, I'm not going to go to Ireland for 10 days, man. If I get over to Ireland, I'm going to stay there as long as they'll have me. And so I went over, and I had met a woman from outside of Dublin down in Guatemala. She had become one of my closest friends. And so
Where was you around Antigua for that to happen? Like, what part?
I met Linda in Antigua, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I met her at
touristy.
Cafe Sky.
Mm-hmm.
I met her at Cafe Sky, and
I've been there.
she was,
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
there were lots of people having very, like, surface conversations around me, which I understand there's a time and place for surface conversations, but Linda and some Australian guy were, like, talking world politics, and I was like, I have to know you.
You a fan of politics?
And she was great. I'm a fan of Linda.
Okay.
And she was great. And she toured me around Ireland for 10 days, and then I met up with my buddy from Massachusetts. We toured around Ireland for 10 days, and then on the 21st day, I met Robert Buskey.
All right, Anna, get in the mix. How'd you meet these wonderful people?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So when I lived in Chapel Hill, I was there from 2010 to 13, and I booked bands at a venue called The Station and Southern Rail. That is a really cool. Well, it's no longer a venue, but it was for a long time. It was just a really great spot, and it's like kind of where I learned all about Appalachian music and bluegrass and just like folk music from the States, all from the bands I got to book there, because we had music 7 nights a week. And there were bands that came through all the time, but there were some local bands that we booked a lot, and Alicia was part of one of those bands, and so she played with a band called the
Bevel Summers.
Bevel Summers, thank you. So there was a band called Bevel Summers. They would come and play sometimes. I met her through that, and then I moved away, and we didn't know each other super well, but we
No.
had crossed paths.
And we weren't like friends online or anything, so I hadn't seen
Oh,
Anna
yeah.
in years and years and
Well,
years.
how did you cross paths again?
So
huh?
we went to the Southeast Regional Folk Alliance that was held in Black Mountain last year.
It's
Yeah.
like a folk convention.
It's a
And
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
beautiful.
Steve Ellis from here in town.
Yeah.
That's how he found Anna.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
The
it's
main
in
one.
New Orleans
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna-
make my first appearance.
Oh, you
Oh,
are?
we're
there.
gonna make
We'll be
our
there
first
too.
There too.
appearance.
I can't
there.
wait to watch you play.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
they've got like regional ones as well as the big one, and so we met at the southeast version of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I was like, why do I know your name is Anna?
And why do I know your? I was like, I know her. I know her voice. I know her face. Yeah, and then we realized we're like, oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
from
I used to work at the
Chapel
station.
Hill days. Yeah, yeah, and Robert
you met
was there.
at that conference. Yeah.
I'm just here for the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, back to you just for a second. I don't get this much of an opportunity, but just with music, with where you're from,
Yeah.
and getting into it, man.
Yeah.
I can't tell you just how much British rock
Mm.
and even today with Charlie XCX,
Hmm.
as far as she influences American music.
Yeah.
How did you get into music?
Well, my dad had some vinyl records,
What was
Jimi
he playing?
Hendrix, Bob Dylan, and then a lot of Thin Lizzy.
You've always been a folk guy, huh?
Just about.
Folk and rock, like, yeah,
Yeah.
those are the two that really got me until I discovered, um, you know, Piedmont blues, which I guess I first got into that through Doc Watson, and then, you know, found like Blind Boy Fuller and Reverend Gary Davis and Elizabeth Cotton, who's from Carrboro, which is down the road from
Just
where
where
we
the
live.
station is.
Yeah, the freight train
Um,
song. That's
And so I learned the song in England before I'd ever been to the States. But, you know, growing up in Birmingham, we had Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath like
Of
on our
course,
doorstep. And my music teacher, um, he said on the last day of school, he had this really great Birmingham accent. He went, "All right, lads, come in the back room. I want to show you something." And he pulled out his old desk and he like fired up some buttons, and then Ozzy's voice came out of the speakers on its own. And then he slid the guitar in, and there's Tony's guitar and the drums. And so he had this like hard recording of the band before they were called Black Sabbath on his desk, and he'd done this studio session when they were just starting out for them.
And y'all had that in curriculum?
No, he just
The
like
very last day of
let us in
class.
on the back room and was like, let you play with Ozzy's voice on the slider and the EQ and
Are
stuff.
you kidding me?
No, it was
That's
it
awesome.
was like
Wow.
at that moment he just spelled out the whole album for me, because he broke it down into its parts for us and showed us how they were mixing together, and I was hooked from then. So
I mean, so early life, I mean, like, was it always going to be music? I mean, what did you think about, what was you going to make of yourself
I was gonna do art, but
in some capacity, right?
yeah, I was gonna be like an illustrator. That's what I studied, but it looked like kind of a lonely, solitary existence. I wanted more people, more community in my life, and so I thought music would have more of that.
Absolutely.
And I think-
Alicia,
It's always been music. I mean, it's been lots of other things too, but I've been writing songs since the first book that I ever wrote anything in, when I was like 6. There are 3 songs in there that I wrote.
6 years old.
They're not good songs.
What part of the country?
I was in Chapel Hill, I was in Durham.
Native.
Durham, North Carolina. Yeah, I was born in Manhattan. We lived in Brooklyn when I was little, but then we moved down to North Carolina, and I lived there.
For what, would you say?
For why?
Yeah.
Why did we move out of the
Yeah.
city? Oh, because my mom never wanted to live in the city. She grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she wanted to be close to.
She met your daddy at
Trees.
school?
She met my dad at her. He didn't go to her school, but his sister did. So he visited a few times, and that's how they met. Yeah,
Alicia loves New York
they
City,
were
though.
together a long time. I do love New York City, and I've roped Robert into selling Christmas trees with me every winter.
What do you think you love most about the city?
It's a choose your own adventure book. It's just like anything you could dream up, like anything you want to get into.
Okay.
It's there. You have to be determined, and you have to like find it. Otherwise, it will just like swallow you up.
Anna,
But,
since the
yeah.
last time we met, been following your journey. I'm very happy for you. But I have to say, with this port session, particularly, well, no, not at all. Your guitar work and your voice is way better, in my opinion.
Thanks.
I'm guessing it just comes through practice in the road. But
I hadn't really done much more than a couple songs in front of people like 2.5 years ago. So when we met a year, I was only like a year-ish in. So I hope that I've gotten better, because that's yeah. So thank you.
you're a hell of a go-getter.
Thanks.
You strike me as somebody that's just been getting after it since. Well, I'm 18. I'm done with school. It's time. You know? But just following your journey and some of the places you've been and traveled, uh, and praise God for somebody like you who is passionate about bringing alongside someone like Robert and Alicia. I mean, uh, you're good for it. So, like, where'd the heart come from as far as, uh, well, we got to get this music around, huh?
So I'm somebody who's usually quit most of the things I've done in the past. So like, and yeah,
I'm a proud quitter too.
yeah,
Yeah.
A little harder to quit when somebody's with you.
Well, I mean, just in terms of the whole. I mean, yes, of course, but in terms of the whole, like, just doing this job, everything in it. It was really strange because like I was pre med during COVID, and then I quit and was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I didn't want to do music my whole life because my mother's a musician. I was like, no, like I won't do it. And then
Why'd you feel that way?
because I saw how hard it was, I saw how much she struggled despite her talent, and I didn't want to have to rely on other people to survive. And so when I decided to do this, it kind of came up, and I kind of looked at it, and I was like, I don't, that doesn't make sense. But as soon as I said it out loud to my therapist, I was like, it just, everything settled, and it
Kinda
felt
felt
right,
right?
for the first time of anything I'd ever said I wanted to do, and it just, and I knew that I'd like done enough internal work that I could tackle it in a mental way at least. And so, and then I took like, almost a year before I actually even started really like performing live, just like business researching and like just writing and getting on stage for open mics and stuff. And then as soon as it was like, all right, I want to do more work, and then I just jumped on the road, and that's been since. It'll be 3 years in December since I got on the road, and it's been like, and it's community is everything too, and it's like it is still a pretty solitary life. In music, it can be, especially if you're traveling a lot, and so it's really nice to be able to do these runs with people and be able to share it, because it's like you get to like learn from each other and grow and spend time with good people, and it's like it's important. So yeah, it's and you want to everybody wants to make it work and make it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I totally see the business aspect of what you have going on. I receive a lot of DMs and emails, and yours always have a way of getting right to the point, which is something that I like.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's also very personal. Like, I feel like I'm talking to Anna, or I'm reading Anna. It's like, it's not just structure. It's nice, and you do a good job of constructing it. And man, welcome back to Columbus, Mississippi. I'm so glad that y'all got to. I wanted to brag on our host, Miss Jamie Nettles and Tommy. And
Tommy.
wow, what a place, huh?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of great shows here.
It's got an atmosphere to
You
it.
ever been to Mississippi? Have you?
We went to Jackson once.
We did go to Jackson once.
Where'd you put Doolin Hall?
We just went and walked around.
Robert's last name is Jackson.
We were passing
And
through, kind of, so
We've learned the song Jackson, by Johnny Cash.
we'd
and
heard
Tina
about
Turner.
Jackson,
And so we figured we would check it out.
You gotta go to
Robbery.
Starkville before you go. There's a wonderful mural
Okay.
in Starkville. It's on Lafayette Street,
Nice.
South Side. It is Johnny Cash getting arrested. Johnny Cash got arrested in Starkville, Mississippi for picking wildflowers.
Really?
What was his wife's name?
June Carter.
That's right. He was getting
Carter.
wildflowers for June, and he don't live far from here. Actually, he sold the place, and he's in Vermont now, but Burlington. Shout out, Monk. But his grandmother was the person that called the cops on Johnny Cash and got him arrested. It's like, there is this guy all in black picking wildflowers in my
You
neighbor's
must be
yard.
crazy, yeah.
And they came and scooped him up, and they have the mural painted of him holding like his number.
Wow.
And
I thought that was him holding wildflowers.
You're right.
I thought you were him
Should have
holding
been.
the
Yeah.
Should have been.
wildflowers.
I think on the mural there are
And then the
wildflowers.
Yeah,
but,
nice.
very cool. Well, guys, I don't want to be very long. Can I do 5 more questions and we wrap it
Sounds
up?
good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pastor Robin,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Robin.
Robin.
Very cool.
Robin Hood.
Hello. Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
in America.
yeah.
Ooh, I want to pick your brain on this. If you could play a venue, like think about when you was first getting into music and you
Mm.
was think like what hall, amphitheater, where would you play?
Well, I mean, the Grand Ole Opry is probably up on the list. Yeah, I
Now, do you want
remember.
the Ryman, the old one, or you want the new one?
I suppose the old one.
The
Yeah,
Ryman.
the Ryman. Yeah, I mean, I used to watch the 1960s and 70s Grand Ole Opry shows at Christmas time, so I always associated them with that time of year. You know, the holidays, and I watched so many episodes of the show, and you know, Johnny Cash, June Carter, all on there, and everyone else, and it just seemed like a dream to me. You know, like a dream world that they'd created. And you know, it didn't age that well in some ways, but I'd love to get on that stage and kind of feel the atmosphere of that room and get to
Yeah,
sing a
That
song in
circle.
there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Alicia, traveling,
Mm.
Durham, born in the Big Apple. Take a bite, would you? Traveling down to Guatemala, going over to Ireland. What was you looking for?
Mm. Well,
Change.
I I have loved traveling since I was a teenager. When the year I was 15, my family moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and my older two siblings were out of the house. It was just me and my brother Alan and our parents. And we moved to St. Louis, and I made a bunch of friends there. And then we moved back to North Carolina, and I just kept wanting to spend time in St. Louis. So I just kind of, at about 16, started bouncing around, staying at different friends' houses and stuff. I was homeschooled, so I had that freedom, and my grandparents were in St. Louis, and so I would go there sometimes to, you know, if my grandfather had a fall or after he had a stroke, and I was like almost a grown up and dispendable, and I could just get sent, and I wanted to see my friends.
Sure.
So that kind of got the travel bug in me, and then after college, I had moved down with an ex of mine to back to Durham, and that relationship was manipulative and abusive in ways that I took a long time to kind of realize, and it got pretty bad before I escaped from that. And so part of it was I started traveling again in part to get away, like um, and I met a lot of people in my travels, especially like solo female travelers who have similar stories, and that a lot of people say, you know, oh, you're so brave to be traveling alone, or how do you feel safe as a woman alone? And I was like, I'd rather take the random stranger in the street than what I was living with, you know,
Wow.
back in my hometown, and then have to leave my hometown because I don't feel safe there. And yeah, it's been a journey.
You're still there.
Still in that area,
You're still there.
and I've been wanting to live in that area for a really long time,
Good for
and
you.
now we do. So I don't know.
Hey, just while we're there,
Yeah.
just to add on, you kind of touched on it.
Mm.
I'm just thinking about a lot of young teenage girls that I know that are maybe they're in the same situation.
Yeah.
And you kind of touched on that advice a little bit, but what would you say? What's step one? What's two? What's three as far as moving around and being safe?
Mm. Yeah, I think that there's a certain kind of naivety that a lot of young people have, but I think that overcoming that will happen whether you're staying put or whether you're traveling.
Sure.
Like, if you want to travel, you may have some of those hard lessons. Most likely it will be with quasi strangers, whereas I think when you stay put, it's more likely that those experiences are going to be with people who you know or you thought you knew. rather than if you keep moving, it's going to be with strangers, but you'll learn those lessons. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Because I think about that, like
Yeah.
just with some of the travels that I've had.
Mm.
And, like we flew in packs, and like for the most part, when we were there, we were kind of traveling. And I
Yeah.
was leading the pack, although like I had never been there before.
Sure.
But like just like my personality and just
Yeah.
kind of like how I present myself is like it's a lot easier for me to kind of lead it up.
Yeah, I think that finding communities, even if they're like at whatever hostel or living situation you're staying in when you're traveling, or they're the local community that you're able to like tap into. I think that I've been really fortunate to be able to tap into so many different communities as I travel, and so then I know that there's some amount of checks and balances in like any sort of community, and even if I'm a bit of an outsider, probably there's community there for me too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And
Yes. What's your question?
ooh, I got one dialed up for you. Books.
Books. Ooh, yeah.
I
give
want to
me-
know what you've been reading.
Oh, okay. I'm reading multiple things at the same time.
That's okay.
Okay.
Just plugs, people.
Okay,
Just
okay,
plugs.
okay. Right now I'm reading. I think I'm reading three things right now. I'm reading a book called The Living Mountain by Nan Shepherd, which is she's a naturalist and hiker who spent her whole life in the Cairngorms in Scotland, and it's just her nature description account of the land, its animals, the rocks, the snow, the mist.
That sounds like an Anna song to me.
I write these books off of my taxes because I call them R&D. And then, so reading that one, I'm reading a poetry book by a Palestinian poet who's, I think he's relatively younger, maybe he's about our age, but the book is called Things You May Find Hidden in My Ear, and that's been really beautiful and sad.
I just a second. I hate to interrupt you, but we have some Palestinian refugees in Starkville,
Oh, you do?
and some of them are studying at State, Mississippi State, and I'm very plugged into the college community, like as far as just kind of being. I want to see what's going on, and man, I'll tell you. There's not a better people group to be around right now because of the treatment of their land and themselves, and those who are fortunate enough to be here or wherever you find them, ask them, and I think they'll give you into a window of a soul you haven't been able to quite imagine as an American, and I think it'll change your opinion, and it may change your heart. So give it a go. Thank you.
Yeah.
But shout out to those refugees. I always love spending time with them.
Yeah.
Just kind of picking their brain.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like you and I. I mean, like I have a dear friend. She's not Birmingham, but I don't remember. It's around this area, but she's from there. She lives up in Nashville now. And I'm a huge, like, you ever seen the film Green Street Hooligans?
Oh yeah.
That was
Green
kind of
Street,
like my introduction to like British
Football Factory.
Football
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
And I have an affinity for that film. I love that film. And like,
Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah.
Is it true to form?
Yeah, I used to work in a pub. It was my first job, and it was a football pub, and there would be fights, and you'd see people who were friends just like punching each other because they supported different football teams, and then they'd turn and go for you.
Sure.
And I have to wear a tie that was a clip-on because they would grab me by the tie.
Yeah, you just come
so
off.
it would come off. Yeah, yeah. And it kind of turned me off football after that. After watching the violence for so much, it really just put me off. There is a dark side to that in the UK. I think that it's been preyed on by companies who are making money from it, and it's been encouraged, kind of like when you put two badgers in a pit and make them fight, you know. I don't think we should
What
be
do we
doing
do with
that
our
to people.
culture here, huh?
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah. Well, I mean, I think maybe we showed you what we knew way back when people started coming from Europe to this continent, you know. I think they brought
Sure.
some of that with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not how I would choose to do things.
Yeah.
Like non-violence is much better in my opinion. Like
We gotta be able to talk about it.
archery or something like that, you know.
Yeah, that's
A
great
target,
advice.
like.
As long as you're not shooting at each other. Yeah, a target.
So the football
Love a
hooligans
target.
come with little bows.
Are
Like,
you-
Yeah.
When I-
No, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than
When
you.
I-
Spider-Man,
was
like
a
we're all
kid-
weird.
When I was a kid, my dad worked for Duke, and the Duke had a thing where all the freshmen would make these huge benches, like enormous, way too big for a human benches, and then they would paint them, and then if Duke won the championship, then they would burn them all.
In
And
celebration.
I didn't know about this as a kid. One night we were going onto campus where my dad worked, where he had to check on something, and it was evening time, and the game had just let out. But I had also just been like, I was aware of NPR, and I was learning about Bosnia, and I had met these refugees from Bosnia who we were helping set up, getting them some of our
you
stuff.
understand. You get what I'm saying.
And we get onto Duke campus, and these benches are burning, and men are just running around, and they're throwing toilet paper, and they're doing silly string. And I press my face up against the glass like I'm in my booster seat. I'm like, Dad, is this a war? And my dad was like, no, honey, it's just the basketball game. And I was like, we lost. And he was like, no, honey, we won. And I was just
That's why they're burning things.
it will
Yeah.
never make sense to me.
Fly
Like,
backwards.
war doesn't make sense, but also neither does burning the benches when you win basketball.
Finish your books.
the last one is called We Cast a Shadow, and I just started it. And it's really interesting. It takes place about 2 generations from our generation, and it's in a world where they've kind of receded back to kind of 1950s and earlier segregation and racism, but at the time they have like skin lightening and kind of like procedures that everybody who's black is going through to like make themselves look more white. And there's this whole like the main character is a black guy who has a mixed race kid, and he's like trying to save up money to get the kid the surgery so he looks totally white because he's trying to like make it in the world. And I'm only like 4 chapters in, and I'm already just like, what is gonna happen in this book?
Wow.
It's like it's almost sci-fi, but it's not sci-fi at all. It's just kind of like this is a morbid potential
Dystopian
future.
future.
Yeah, dystopian future.
Sure. And
Did
what
you
was
get
that?
it-
What
did
was
you
that
get it in
book and
town?
author again?
The book is called We Cast a Shadow. I just started it, so the
We Cast a Shadow.
Yeah, We Cast
Yeah.
a Shadow.
Did you get it from the bookstore in town?
I got it. No, I got a couple other
You
books
stop
there,
by
but
Friendly City?
I
Yeah,
always
Friendly.
always stop by Friendly
Great.
City.
Friendly City was
Very
great.
cool.
But no, I got that at Baldwin's bookstore in New Orleans. And it kind of takes place. It takes place in the South. Maurice Ruffin is his name.
Maurice Ruff.
Maurice
Yeah.
Ruffin.
Very cool. Well,
And
there you
it's
have it.
so
If
good.
you want to check out it kind of strikes me as like a They Live, or like.
Yeah, I'm not
you know,
sure. It
maybe
could
in
go more
1994.
dystopian. Yeah. I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Take a story to
Flow
film.
My Tears, the policeman wrote. I was
Okay.
thinking of that. Philip K. Dick.
All right, Alicia. Something
Yes.
I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Early days, earliest memories,
Ooh.
music impressions.
Earliest music impressions.
What's the first thing? Was it a church? Was it gospel? What was?
I did not grow up in the church. I grew up going to an environmental festival that was run by hippies. And I would say that was probably my like first introduction. We would sing like hippie river songs. And there was that. And then there was this guy, Bob Reed, and he's still Reed and Jeeger is what he's his duo that he has now. and they tour all over the U.S. and do lots of house concerts. But Bob Reed was probably he came to that festival when I was like 3 or 4. He at that time would have been in his like early to mid 20s. He had his guitar, he had his curly black hair. He was very full of energy and had all these songs that he'd written with kids that were like really easy to sing along, and I loved them so much. I was obsessed. And we were leaving at the end of that week. It's like you camp out for a week. And we were leaving at the end of that week, and I'm like getting like strapped into my, my car seat, and Bob comes running up and he gave me his tape. And that was the first tape that was my tape. And I rinsed it. I just listened to it so much. And he came and did a house concert. Reed and Jieger did a house concert at my mom's house, like maybe 2019. And just for old time's sake, he doesn't sing those kids' songs. That's not in his regular repertoire. I think I still have the tape somewhere.
She got signed.
But, yeah. I was obsessed. Like when I was 11, I told my mom that like I had to take classes with him and be on his album. Like I had to get involved with Bob Reed. And my mom was like, I mean, are we gonna have to send her to California? And then he came to North Carolina and he did a week at the summer camp that I was like already signed up to go to. And we wrote a song together, my first co-write. Anyways, yeah, I owe a lot to Bob Reed.
I'd like to open the floor up. It's a rabbit I've been chasing here on the show. It's something that I dealt with recently, and man, it felt like somebody gave me permission to go. Like I got signed off on like this unlimited check. It's a question about validation. So in the craft, in the arts, whether it's painting or traveling or just with songwriting, and when is a song ready to be played out in front of an audience? I guess that's when it's time. But what do you do with validation, and what do you do with those days to where you just feel like hanging it up? Where do you find hope? Where do you find the strength? Right? Where's it come from?
Yeah. Well, it comes from within, I think.
Yeah.
For me. It's like no one else is going to do it for you. Just put one foot in front of the other and, try. I find journaling to be immensely helpful, and writing the same things again each day,
One thing lately, Robert, I found is I'm very careful to say things out loud, negative about myself or anybody else. I don't want to speak that kind of crap into existence. I don't want to speak that on nothing.
That reminds me of a quote by Bruce Lee. He says, "Be careful with your words because they have more power than you think. That's why they call it spelling."
There you go. There you go. Sure.
I believe him. It's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, what's not to believe?
Alicia, what about validation? Or
Yeah.
what do you make of your travel? Your art, your craft?
I think, like, I wish I knew, maybe, where it comes from. Because all I know is that I have it in abundance. And I can't turn it off.
The last song you wrote,
Mm.
where'd it come from?
The last song I wrote came from, it came from where I think a lot of my songs come from, which is being inspired by a few other artists and filling in the gaps. So it's like, I really like these songs, but it's not quite. None of them are quite scratching that itch. They're all reaching towards it, and so it's like finding, like this is one of the songs. That's another one of the songs.
Sure.
That's one of the other songs, and it's finding that strange space in the middle that none of the other hands were able to reach. That
Gets all the
Jackson Pollock sunscreen that never got there, the sunburn. That's where my songs come from.
Which question am I answering?
You want to
Validation.
take it how you, validation or
the-
songwriting?
How do I find validation?
Yeah.
or need it, or yeah, where does it come from?
So far, for the most part, at least in this world, in this industry of life that I'm living, something about when I made that decision kind of created this, like, I've generally been a very, like, I am a people pleaser. I am somebody who a lot of times needs validation. In this, for the most part, I've managed to just be like, that settling, that kind of just like, it's kind of like takes away fear. It took away kind of like a lot of walls and boundaries that I think I would have hit if I was in any other position or in any other part of my life doing a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's also taken away a lot of need for validation. Like, I have a standard for myself that I set, and because I know exactly what I want what something can be and how I want it to be finished when it's created. And that's been a really difficult thing to reach because I haven't found my people yet, or the people I know how to communicate those things to, and I'm still learning how to communicate them, which is a really difficult part. But when I know when it's done, like, that'll be the validation I need, is just finishing the thing I set out to do. I think I have certain people, like certain artists that I like kind of look up to and really respect, that like I probably will be like, if you like this, I'll feel pretty cool, like there's definitely people like that, like especially people who've really influenced me. But even some of those, I've run across like one or two of them, and like had moments where like there's an opportunity to kind of listen to my music, and I realized I was like okay with it not, or yes or no being in certain stuff. So I think I'm lucky, and I think it's only because of this weird funnel that my brain went into when it made that decision, and for no other reason. And I don't really know how to explain it quite. Yeah, it's like it supersedes fear.
I think you do okay. I think it's fine. Last question for you, and then I'd like for websites or social medias where to follow. I will do that. But I wanted to tell you this before we go. This is my challenge to you.
Okay.
Is you write a good story in your songs. You have great characters, and you write about great Southern tragedy. I want to know, because that's why I asked what you was reading. When's your next story song?
Like, what do I have one in mind that I'm trying to create? You mean?
Yeah.
Kinda? Well, I promised Steve Ellis I'd write a song about Columbus, so I've been messing around with some lyrics to somebody who's like a nomad, and is just like decided that the road is not for them, and they want to come back to Columbus. So that's a character in the story, basically. I've got like most of the lyrics finished for that, and it needs a little bit of work, and it needs a melody. I was working on it last night. I was trying to get it ready in time for this week, but it didn't quite make it.
Can't rush it.
Yeah, no, can't rush it.
Can't rush it.
But yeah, I think that one probably would be the answer.
Well, very cool. Because I always look like murder ballads and things like that. Like I really find that in the way I love the vibrato of your voice, and you use it in a great way, and I think it sets itself up so well for a murder ballad that is just haunting.
I just finished one about a woman who poisons a bunch of men. And it's like
I know what book you was
medieval,
reading.
I didn't mean to. It just kind of came out, but I was like, oh, she's murdering them now. Like, all right, here we go. But they tried to trap her, and it's their fault, really. So, just saying. So there you go.
They had it coming.
All right.
They had it coming.
Man, thank y'all so much for your time.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
Just for those of us watching or listening, if we want to keep up with the story, see where you're playing, and just be interested in what's going on, where's the best place to do that? Website, social media, go.
It's a different thread.com, and on all of the same on all the platforms. It's the same, just
Just without the .com.
a different
Where
thread.
did the name come
Yeah.
from, real quick?
It's from a song.
That
actually.
Robert wrote with a friend of his,
Yeah,
where they add on. There's an expression: "We're all cut from the same cloth."
But a different thread.
There you go.
it's like we're the same but we're different,
It's like we're stronger in our diversity.
and yeah, unity, diversity, that kind of thing. Yeah, deep down we're all the same, you know.
Hell yeah, we are.
A different thread.
But we're all different too.
Ain't that the truth?
A different thread.
And you can find me AnnaLamare.com. So that's ANNALAMARE. And I don't have, these guys have music out on all the platforms, and new singles coming up. I don't have music out yet, but if you follow along on any of my social medias or my newsletter, which you can get onto on my website, you will get notifications when the first drops come.
And I'll tell you, invite her to your town. She writes it up so sweet. She does.
Oh yeah.
She's a sweetheart. All right, thank you, everybody. This has been
Thank you so much.
Porch
Yeah,
Talk.
thank you.
Porch Talk.
Porch Talk.
See you next time.